Countdown. Countdown is a horror movie of sorts. And it's terrible. Just like most horror movies. Well, I mean, okay, it's... pretty much the entire premise of it is, there's this app. It's called a Countdown app, or... yeah, something like that. And it's supposed to, like, tell you the exact moment you're going to die, like the exact day, time, year, all that. It tells you how much time you have left to live. And for whatever reason, for some people, when they download this app, and then, and they have to agree to some kind of user agreement, and once they do that, then it shows them how much time they have left to live. And some people, they only have it turns out they have like a couple days left to live, or a couple hours left to live, or and then also too, so I mean, and eventually, like, the main character in this, I'm not familiar with most of the actors in this, but the main one, I assume she's supposed to be the main one, some like nurse. And because she finds out about the app through like one of her patients, and because he downloaded the same app but died. His girlfriend downloaded the app too, and she died. So this nurse is curious about it, so she downloads the same app as well, and she finds out that she's only got like, I don't know, it says like a couple of days left to live, something like that. Less than a week, I remember that much. But there were certain parts where I kind of zoned out, spaced out, because I wasn't interested in a lot of this movie. I just rented it because, I was bored. I really had nothing else to do. So yeah, eventually this nurse, and she finds out. I will say, the one character I liked in this movie, because this nurse, she eventually comes across this priest, and I guess she like finds out that he is kind of an expert in demons or whatnot, or the knowledge of demons. And the priest is actually an awesome character, my favorite character in this entire movie. And I know I've seen that actor before. I want to say his name is PJ something. PJ Byrne. Oh, crap. Of course, some guy pulls up right when I'm doing a review and blasts his music. Anyways, okay, I got distracted. The priest, the actor that plays the priest, I want to say his name is PJ Byrne, or something like that, PJ something, but I've seen him in, the only other movie I've seen him in, I remember is Wolf of Wall Street. He played that one guy who, like, wore a toupee, and they called him Rugrat, and, but yeah, so he plays the priest in this movie, and he was pretty hilarious. Like, it was just like, because he had this whole, like, kind of laid back attitude about the whole thing. I guess mostly because it was like, he was so familiar with a lot of stuff that had to do with demons and whatnot that, it was no big deal to him. Like, so, yeah. And then it's sort of, he eventually helps the main character. He helps her and some other guy, and eventually they figure out that they have to do something to prove, because it turns out that it's a curse. They have to do something to prove the curse wrong, which they do, and I don't want to give anything away, but actually it turns out to be fairly interesting. I mean, with all the stuff that the priest says, because he talks about this one demon who, like, thousands of years ago, pretty much, like, did the same kind of curse on some prince guy, and you know, it was kind of a hard story to follow along with, but it was interesting. I would say like I was more interested in the knowledge of that, like how that whole thing started, and what the curse that the demon placed on that prince guy, and so yeah. And then of course, I mean, eventually they figured out how to beat this curse thing, but then also too, pretty much it turns out that they can't really beat it or something like that, and you know. Again, I won't give away any details, but you know, like I said, it was, I don't know. Some parts were interesting. Well, more so the whole story about the curse thing, how that got started, and the priest, the actor in this who played the priest, was my favorite character. So, but apparently, I guess it did well in the theaters. I mean, well, it did all right, I guess, because it grossed enough, like something like over 40 million at the box office. But yeah, I mean, I guess, like I said, it's one of those movies like when you're bored, you don't know what to watch. Yeah, you might want to watch this. Because otherwise, I'm not so sure I would watch it again. So overall, I guess as far as the rating goes, I would give it I'd give it a 6, solid 6 out of 10. Yeah, and that's mostly because I like the priest. The priest is my favorite character, and then also, like I said, the whole thing about the origin of the curse and whatnot, and you know, because everything else is like, you know, the acting is. All the other acting like comes off as just pretty forced. So, yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. So that'll do it for this review of Countdown. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.